So, did you miss me? I'm back. As you all know, to be a showgirl, you gotta be flexible, right? You gotta be flexible and you gotta be strong. Not only in the body, though, you also need to be incredibly flexible and resilient in your mind. We put ourselves in extremely dangerous places and positions. So while it looks very easy, it's only because we are experts at what we do. It doesn't make it any less dangerous. So when you are in the industry for a long time, you will see injury and you will see repetitive strain injury. That's from when you do the same thing over and over again and it's so strenuous on your body that you'll tear or break. You'll see accidents, so tripping, falling, and sometimes you see life-threatening accidents. In my 15 years on stage, I've seen 2 broken backs, 3 career-ending injuries, and also I myself had a really scary incident. So that's what I'm going to tell you about next. While I was working about 8 years ago, we had an incredibly tall pole, so it was about 10 meters up. It was on two stages and then a very high pole, so it was about 10 meters high. And in order to keep it rotating, we decided to motorize the bottom of the pole. So that means it had a motor spinning it so that I wouldn't have to generate the spin for myself by going down to the floor. I could do the whole act at the top of the pole, which would be quite impressive. During one rehearsal though, we lost control of the motor, so the motor kept getting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, to the point where I was holding on with both arms outstretched like this, and my body was out like a flag, swinging around the pole. So that's how much force there was. And I couldn't hold on for very long. I got thrown across the arena, I spun like a frisbee, and smashed my face into the ground. So I hit the ground, skidded for about 15 meters and left a huge streak of blood behind me and landed and created a huge puddle of blood. Thankfully, I don't remember because I was knocked out for about 8 minutes, but people who were there, it was quite traumatic. They had to go for counseling, but I was fine. Spoiler alert, I pull out okay. So when I sort of came to, there was a medical team around me, and I looked up and I had a massive headache. And because if anybody's ever been severely concussed, you'll know you're very confused when you wake up. So I came to, and there was a medic standing over me, and he said, Felix, are you okay? And I was like, what are you doing in my bedroom? Because I thought I was really hungover, just had a really, really hectic night, I didn't remember. I was like, what happened? And he goes, do you know where you are? And I said, yes, Montreal. And he said, no. He goes, do you know what day it is? I was like, yes, Thursday. And he goes, no. And then I said, hang on. Hold my teeth. I'll need them later. This is a true story. You can't actually put your own teeth back. But he was very kind, he took them and he kept them for me for later. You can get fake ones though, and they look pretty good. Am I right? Thank you. So I was sped off to the hospital, and I had broken my jaw in 7 different places. I was extremely lucky because this side of my mandible shot straight up into my head, narrowly missing my brain, so I could have died very easily. I also could have broken my neck just as easily as my face, so that could have been catastrophic. I fractured my hip, dislocated my shoulder, broke my wrist, and my knee and my foot. So I was quite damaged. And my artistic director, who had come in the ambulance with me very kindly, I had one thing to say to her, and that was, don't worry, I'll be fine for rehearsals tomorrow. And she very sweetly looked at me and said, yes, you will, Felix. Yes, you will. So I was off for about a year. I had broken my body fairly well, I would say, but what actually took the most time to heal was my brain, because I had bruised it so badly. So every time I stood up, I would get really dizzy. So I had to have a lot of patience and a lot of strength, resilience, and flexibility up here to get back on the pole. But I did, and I trained extremely hard for 6 months, and I went straight back to the show, and I did it for the next 4 years. So, yeah. And to move things right along, let's have a look at a body being strong and flexible.